I, 38, met my husband, 44, 4 years ago. I'm currently 8 weeks pregnant. Only he and I know. I have an 8-year-old son from a past relationship. His father died in a car accident before he was born. My husband has a 13-year-old daughter, SD, from a previous marriage. She lives with us every other week. When we got married, his ex fought for full custody and lost, but it was made clear by SD, my husband, and the ex that I wasn't to parent her. SD ignored me and my son during her weeks with us. It wasn't ideal, but it wasn't directly harming anyone. My son quickly learned to avoid her. I suspected her coldness came from her mom and tried over the years to connect, but she always shut me out. Things worsened 2 years ago when her mom remarried and got pregnant with twins. She started neglecting SD, tried pushing more custody on us, which we accepted, and her new husband clearly didn't want SD around. Seeing SD's mental health decline, I asked my husband if we could take her full-time for stability, but her mom refused. After the twins were born a year ago, SD's behavior towards us spiraled. The worse it got at her mom's, the more she lashed out at us, breaking things, calling me names, telling my son to stay in his room, even hitting him. When I told her to keep her hands off him, she snapped, "What are you gonna do about it?" My son became scared and often asked to stay with his grandfather when she was around. I told my husband she needed help. She's been in therapy for 6 months now, but beyond that, he's at a loss. When he tries to address her behavior, she acts innocent, hugs my son in front of him, or accuses him of loving my son more if he's too stern. 3 months ago, my son's grandpa passed away. This hit my son and me very hard. My son was inconsolable for many weeks and couldn't really understand what it meant that he couldn't see grandpa again. Grandpa was a carpenter, so was my late BF. So from a very young age, my son loved hanging with him in the garage, working. Many times when he was there, he came home with something they made together. Butter knives, boxes, chessboards. For my 38th birthday last summer, I got a stool that my son designed himself and built with his grandpa, which he then painted. This was the last project they had together since grandpa passed away a few weeks later, so the stool was priceless to us. We had it in the kitchen. SD made a lot of negative remarks about the stool, how ugly and poorly made it was. She laughed at my son's poor taste, and he was very distraught. This was the first time, however, that my husband got very angry at her and asked her to go to her room. She was so scared of his reaction that she went without any protest. This Christmas, SD was supposed to be with her mom, but early Christmas Eve, her mom dropped her off unexpectedly. Her new husband didn't want SD at his family's gathering. SD stood there nearly in tears as her mom made excuses. My husband hugged her, and I fought back my own tears. After her mom left, SD went to bed. I did too. Holidays usually start slow for us. My husband went to the gym, then to pick up my parents from the train station. Around 10 a.m., I heard my son screaming. I rushed downstairs. SD had broken the stool he built with his grandpa and was trying to burn it in the fireplace. When she saw me, she smirked and said, "I don't want ugly furniture in my house." I pulled her away, told her to go to her room, and tried to retrieve the pieces. That's when she threw scalding hot cocoa at my face. I screamed. My son panicked, so I ran to comfort him while SD stood there laughing. After getting him upstairs, I went back down, grabbed her by the arm, and dragged her to her room. I locked the door. My husband came home with my parents moments later. My mom took me to the ER, and my son insisted on coming. I had second-degree burns on my cheek and neck. Back home, my husband was furious with me. He said I assaulted SD and lacked compassion, given her mom's rejection. I told him I'm done walking on eggshells in my own home. My son is terrified during her weeks. He hides in his room. I said we made a huge mistake by never letting me be a parental figure to her. He disagreed, insisting she has a kind heart and just needs patience. But I don't see it. She destroyed my son's sentimental project and hurt me deliberately. My face, the one my husband always compliments. I didn't stay. I took my son and my parents and left for their house, where I'm living now. My husband's been calling and texting constantly. SD even texted an apology, probably prompted, but I don't know what to do. I love him, but I'm ashamed to admit I hate that girl. My son hyperventilates at the idea of going back. And what about our unborn child? The thought of sharing custody terrifies me. Exposing my baby to SD's cruelty makes me sick. It even makes me consider abortion. Please tell me if there's any way out of this hell.